Klawf Electrode is a hilarious deck. Not only is it just funny to announce Unhinged Scissors as an attack over and over again, it has like such a quirky matchup spread where like you take absolutely incredible matchups against Roaring Moon, Chin Pao, Miraidon, like key threats in the current standard format. So like, oh yeah, this deck's pretty good. But then you look at the numbers here. 26% Gardevoir and a laughably horrible 7% against Entei Valley, and then you're like, okay, why do I play this deck again? But hey, it got day 2 at LAIC, had a pretty nice run, like beat a Gardevoir, like got through a very explosive 7-2 start, and then like things started to fall apart in day 2. But hey, this list is really cool. It's very consistent in Turbo. Like we're gonna either be announcing Unhinged Scissors or Tantrum Blast on our first turn going second. We put Bibarel to stay stable in the late game. It's overall a pretty streamlined, fast list. Will this be super meta relevant with Gardevoir being by far the most played deck? Probably not. Is it a ton of fun to play? Definitely. Let's just take this onto the ladder and maybe we can get some funny games there. Or maybe we'll face like 2 Guardies and go 0-2 drop. And yeah, let's just see how this goes. Getting started cooking with Klawf here, going second. We actually have a way to status ourselves. We have Arven in hand. So we actually have everything that we need to just unhinge Scissors going second here. Because I can Arven for VIP Pass plus for a Sealstone, and Sealstone can get us the double turbo energy. I'm sort of afraid of this. I'm sure ladder's flooded with Entei Valiant right now, so this matchup seems pretty bad. We can't really bench Bidoof ever against them. So I think we just kind of do like Klawf Bonnet. Like we can't even really go with our, I guess the Electrode one-shots them, right? So it's a 2-for-2 trade. Maybe it's not that bad then. But yeah, I think like 120 really isn't super chunky anymore, especially when we're like poisoning ourselves. So we could basically be turning our attacker into a Yoga Loop target. So like my opponent isn't like totally pop off. I faced like these Iron Valiant decks, like they can go totally crazy turn 1, like going second, Yoga Loop, like board wiping. Like I faced it for the first time IRL recently, like the day after LAIC finals, and yeah, this deck is super nasty. Like maybe we should have seen it coming. Like it doing this well, like in a meta where it's a ton of evolving Pokemon, and decks that can finish 3 games are just generally pretty good right now in a format full of slow decks. But it's certainly annoying to go up against a lot, like especially like myself. I love playing Lost Fox. I can't really do that if you're knocking out all my Pokemon before I get prize 2 DTEs. Do I just take the knockout with the Tantrum Blast? I have to get Sneasler Bonnet. I think it's worth it. Well, okay, I have to do this. This gets me... let's do this. Yeah, I think this is worth it. So then I'll do that. Let's put down the Town Store, get the Future Boost Capsule. Like, I think we just win this matchup by going or Ancient Boost Capsule. We win this matchup by going 2-2-2. So then we Switch Cart. I'm gonna have to use Forest Sealstone to get another Battle VIP Pass, unfortunately. It would have been nice to just not do that, but it's okay. I'm not benching Bidoof because it's gonna get Yoga Loop to just giving my opponent another turn. Of course, I didn't set up like super amazingly. I'll just get down a Brute Bonnet and another Klawf. We will drop the Curry. We will boost Capsule. Toxic Powder. Like you can see how aggressive this Klawf deck can be. Like I didn't even like play, like I didn't draw an absurd amount of cards with Squawkabilly or anything. Like we just played Arven and we did a ton of damage. So yeah, taking 2 prizes. Off to a pretty strong start here. It's fairly likely that I'm gonna get knocked out right back here with the Burning Rondo, but like my opponent's board is not looking all that impressive. We drew some pretty solid prize cards here. Like if they don't have a ton of Valiants in play and they can't be taking extra turns, like multi-price turns, like things like that. Like this should be a fairly manageable matchup. Like especially like I play Iono, and they play like so many cards that are great when they set up. Like all those switches, like they have like 14 switch cards in their deck. Amazing for when you have all your Valiants and you can chain all that, get into the Yoga Loop. Not so good though when there are no Valiants. And my opponent, I don't know, I think I was like kind of misplaying by benching all these Entei. Like I know Valiant's not amazing against me, but like Tachyon Bits is still pretty good. It's pretty good to be able to like you still have the attackers on the board, so I don't know, you're still knocking me out. I have weakness to fire. You're definitely knocking me out. So I'm quite confused, but that's okay. My opponent's going to use switch cards, but they did fleet foot. Okay. I was gonna be like, bro, what? Ladder moment for sure. We know my opponent doesn't have like a totally dead hand. Like there's Forest Sealstone to bail them out of absolutely worst case scenario. Town Store. So my Klawf will be hitting for plus poison 200 damage. I could just go boss Squawk and knock it out and then just try to close out this game. I mean, then I'm very, very vulnerable to an Iono, but honestly, I just wouldn't hate putting a Bidoof on the board right now with like no Iron Valiants in play. I don't feel super threatened. There's a research. We'll see where this takes them. If the Valiant deck doesn't totally pop off, it feels pretty bad, but like it's super consistent. It's popping off most of the time. Like unless Squawk is prize or that, like they do have a lot of cards that don't help them set up, like the switches. Like my opponent had a handful of switches, which is great when you get the Valiants, but just like there, they didn't have the Valiants, so wasn't too good for them. So I can just go boss and KO the Squawkabilly, I think. I don't really want to bench the Electrode. These lists aren't usually, or at least the second place list was not playing Iono. I really like getting Bidoof down here. Well, do I though? There's one DTE down. My opponent's hand is huge. It's scary. I'm always doing this. I'm always doing this. Because it's just 2 bits. Like, that's not much. If their hand were smaller, I would feel a lot better about it, but I'm scared, so I'm if they're playing Iono and we get bodied by that, then I guess that's that. So we'll use the unhinged scissors, take the knockout. So like popping off here, the Klawf is being very aggro, like despite being just a little single prize guys, keeping up in the prize trade with the Entei Iron Valiant. I mean, it's kind of just an Entei deck though. The Iron Valiants are on the sidelines for this game at least. I just like playing a Battle VIP Pass deck though. Like you just don't find your Vips and life is not so good. Yeah, as somebody who's been playing Lost Box for a very long time, just yeah, you missed your Vips. Feels bad. And like like that's why playing a deck like Klawf. Oh yeah, I do play Vip. And I hit 2 of them. I was gonna say, oh yeah, Klawf doesn't need Vips, but yeah. Pretty much every deck, aside from Miraidon, occasionally Guardy. I'm not gonna be upset when VIP is gone. Alright, so maybe it was probably a good thing we didn't go for the Bidoof, just since there is 2 Iron Valiants staring us down, and despite them being down 3 switch cards, there's still like 9 more, and then a Jet Energy, so yeah, they can definitely... They can put some bits in play, like, but everyone's kind of chunky though, so... I mean, 120, like, nothing like super thick, but it's just like, it's enough that it takes a little work to knock them out. This match actually is kind of manageable for Klawf. I was like, initially scared, and like, maybe if these lists played Iono, or, well, if these lists played Iono, it would be very tough, because, like, we can't establish Bibarel against them. And we eventually fall apart to an Iono. But if they're just playing the list that got second to LAIC, that's playing the 4 research, 3 chorus, we get to do whatever we want, really. I'm not quite there. I could get the Curry, I could attach a tree out of the Sneasler, but we could not, like the Bravery Charm sort of throws a wrench into things, so I'll just promote the Klawf. I don't really want to play Iono though, just like drawing 2 cards. I top deck that Curry. Let's play an Arven. I want Nest Ball. I suppose we'll thin out a ancient Capsule. I will. I really want the Bibarel for the bonus draw. It'd make playing Iono feel a lot better. But I guess this is where we're at. Let's get down another Klawf. Let's attach the double turbo to the active. Let's use toxic powder. I'm just gonna hold the hands here. They're probably not playing Iono, so I don't need to just drop a ton of things. We'll just unhinge scissors. So like, yeah, we do 200 damage a turn, which like unfortunately isn't quite enough to reach an Entei. If like despite the Mime base and ping, we can't quite reach it. I guess Electrode can though. We have most of the pieces for the Electrode play. We would just need a switch of some sorts. I guess rope is game then. Like if just top decking rope wins us the game. There's an escape rope of their own. I think I'll go into my other Klawf. So yeah, unfortunately Klawf, he's got 3 retreat. That'd be dope just to go like, okay, retreat, Electrode, hurry, and then win. It's funny to see cards that like bulk doing like, it has a limitless page now, like something that actually isn't totally awful. Actually, it's like sort of hilarious in this matchup too, because they can't just like stack damage somewhere. Like you could like play around that and be like, okay, I'll promote Sneasler, Curry. Okay. The good news is Sneasler is not getting yoga looped. Because he benched 3 Enteis. Like, I think my opponent should not have done that. Definitely don't need 3 Enteis. Like, especially after I take the first knockout on a Valiant, you need 2 attackers then. I guess, like, okay, maybe you want a third to, like, retreat back into, but, like, okay, Radzard's there for that. Alright, we're just gonna see a Burning Rondo for the knockouts. So, if I top, like, Cart, Rope, Energy, I win the game. If not, we'll just have to punch an Entei again. And I'd rather not do that. Boss's orders up the Brute Bonnet, probably. And taking the knockout on it. Oh, no, not quite taking that. That's actually super good for them, because then now it sets up Yoga Loop. Oh! We win! What a good deck! Bro, Klawf Electrode. Absolutely nasty stuff. Alright, let's make sure we play all our cards. There's the Curry. There's the Toxic Powder. Oh yeah, how is this not International Champion? Klawf Electrode is clearly superior to Entei Valiant. I did not have high hopes going into the matchup, but it actually feels quite manageable if there's no Iono, which I'm assuming a lot of people are just gonna net deck the winning 60. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and let's run it back in another one. Going second once again with the Klawf Electrode, unfortunately opening up with a mulligan. Would have been a decent hand there. I don't want to see the Curries early though, because we probably would have had to use Squawkabilly. This hand though is incredible. Like we can get everything on the board. It is a little unfortunate to have to collapse away the or discard the collapse here, not be able to collapse the Squawk, but hey, that's really the only complaint that we have here. So Rain Grenade doesn't really tell us much, but we will get more info if this Battle VIP Pass is a Chin-Pao deck. So yeah, they're gonna go back into the Chin-Pao. So we could get the turn 1 Electrode knockout. That'd be pretty good. Surely this can't be real. This deck can't be this explosive. Like actually, this. I mean. I feel like you got that type coverage that you like just body decks that are weak to fighting in grass, and like you're probably okay into Chin-Pao. But man, how good would Klawf Electrode be if that one card, that one deck, Gardevoir didn't exist. Gardevoir, cause like you could tech from you could play Spirit Team or Drapion and at least be able to have a shot. Hey, Klawf, how's it going, buddy? But yeah, you can't really. There's no tech for Gardevoir. I'm gonna make sure I get everybody down. That's like crucial to the setup here. Bidoof can wait. So we get those guys. I will Nest Ball for the Hisuian Electrode. We will. We have to put down the booster capsule. I mean, Arven gets his like switch and for a seal stones. That seems super good. So we have the knockout guaranteed. Unfortunately, we can't like the Collapsed Stadium play here would just be so nasty. I'm gonna put the Klawf on the board just so we have something to like respond back into. Like we could go boss KO Iron Hands. Do I put down the Collapse? I don't think so. I wanted that final spot for a Bidoof. We actually just don't even need the Forest Seal Stone. Okay. I'm cool with that. This deck is dumb. Why is this working so well? Okay. I don't even need Star Alchemy. Tantrum Blast. Back-to-back games. Turn 1 knockouts. That's pretty silly. And I have like a hand where pretty much no matter what my opponent comes back at me with, I can respond. Like we could see like an Iron Hands counter catcher, like KO Squawkabilly for 3 prizes. That would be interesting, but like I don't know like how great that actually is for my opponent's prize map though. They still probably have to take 2 knockouts to win. I would have liked to get Bidoof down, but I didn't want to force seal for the Bidoof. Okay, they're actually gonna be going for the Ampy very much. They are playing the list that Azul played at LAIC with the Iron Bundle. So this creates an interesting scenario if they like they did bench lock. Oh no, wait, okay, bench lock, but the bundle goes off the bench. It's like, oh yeah, I go back into Sneasler, they can't kill it, and we're okay. So if this is Azul's exact 60 from LAIC, then there's just a counter catcher for Gust. I like to this day I still prefer PAL with switchers. I think I'm gonna go back into the Brute Bonnet. Just because it just doesn't die instantly. Arven finds me switch. And like if the Brute Bonnet does die, I go Town Store and it's Ultra Ball and reset it up. So there's the Iono. That's unfortunate. But I still have the Forest Seal Stone on the board. Not an amazing hand. Pokestop. My opponent has quite a bit though that they have to get off this Iono to be swinging this turn. There's the getting the Chen Pal on the board. So what is the plan for next turn? Like Forest Seal, I can't quite gust the Iron Hands. I could Forest Seal for one of the cards. Like they just whiff attack. That is awful. Okay. So I want to Arven. I just take this knockout with Klawf, right? I have the other. I have Capsule. Yeah, I just take this knockout with the Klawf. Like I don't necessarily need to get the Bidoof down now, just because they played their one Iono. Most of these lists are only playing the one. So we use the Toxic Powder. We can attach to that. And I think we're good. I think we just swing with the Unhinged Scissors. I actually could go like Trode for a Seal Stone. I'm like not worried about another Gust. Or not Gust. Another hand Disrupt. Taking the single prizer isn't like great for our prize map. We're probably still going to have to take 2 multi-prizers to win, but it means that like it can't skew the prize trade, or at least attempt to skew the prize trade with like a Baxcalibur or Radiant Greninja or something. I do like that this Klawf deck just puts the cards on the board, like the stuff that's integral for your setup, like Brute Bonnet, Klawf, like Electrode. Like you just have attackers that are like almost ready to go as soon as you put them on the board. Like, you still need to have Bibarel because, like, you need, like, to find your DTEs, your curries and stuff. But it doesn't feel, like, ultra bad to disruption like a lot of single price combo decks are. It is still a combo deck, though. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be clunky into hand disruption. Like, this is just 2 games. I'm sure it does not always draw this hot. We're gonna get amped. Fine by me. I'll just knock you out with a Tantrum Blast and just be a boss away from closing out the game. It would be epic to not have to spend the Forest Sealstone. Maybe we just hit Pokestop, try to hit the curry off of that. The deck is still huge though. Like, Arven just cherry picks the right cards, and we still have a lot of bad cards in the deck. Hey, Pokestop's there to thin it out for us. So it's super cold. Yeah, our Klawf is gonna get amped. We have the response guaranteed. It would have been really nice for my opponent to do this last turn, but like, I don't really like that Iron Bundle play. If they mill their backs, but they got double rod. I think Iron Bundle is an interesting card in this deck. It's something I haven't tested yet, but just on paper, it looks pretty fun and cool. But like, I don't think that was like the correct usage of it there. Like, you're just, I guess you don't want to necessarily like you didn't take the first 2 prizes, so you like, I don't know. I don't think you do that. You can't ever amp the Brute Bonnet. It just makes your prize map worse. Like, then you have to hit Counter Catcher off the Iono. Alright, I'm gonna press Pokestop. Hopefully we hit a curry off of this. What a bad deck. Mill the boss and a DC. Bodied. Okay. So I am going to Forest Sealstone for an Arven just to grab the curry. It thins another card out. Like, I could just straight up grab the curry, but I don't ever want to draw Arven, so we can just thin an additional card out. So let's do it. Let's grab, no, not VIP Pass. I have the spicy seasoned curry. We use it. We will Toxic Powder. So our attacks all lined up. We're doing 230 damage to one-shot the Iron Hands. I'm going to play an Ultra Ball, get rid of a Sealstone and a Capsule. We'll get Bidoof on the board since the hand's looking a little bit weak. We'll bench the Bidoof. We'll bench the Hisuian Electrode. And we'll just Tantrum Blast for the knockouts. And like, we just need to have boss's orders from this point forward. Or just find the curry off of an Industrious and Scissors. We can Industrious for 5 next turn. Maybe we have Pokestop. So we should really get there. And, okay, we just found boss. So we have game in hand. So unless my opponent has some sort of disruption going on, like a second Iono, which I don't. I mean, these lists don't usually play, so I'm not expecting it. But yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised with the Klawf Electrode deck. Like, it seems like just sort of a silly deck on paper. It's like, I guess like status conditions like maybe have that like stigma of just like being like gimmicky or memey, but like feels fast and aggressive. You hit good types. Like, to be fair, I guess I wouldn't expect Valiant though to be an amazing matchup. I guess though if we just always draw like that, what isn't a good matchup? I still think that this is like never beating Gardevoir. I think the person who played this deck did beat a Guardy, like at LAIC, so I guess maybe you should go second and steal a game with a donk. Yeah, that'd probably have to be it, just like a donk and a brick or something like that. Because yeah, we saw today how fast and I guess 2 games, so it most likely doesn't always do this. So yeah, like unless there's something crazy going on here. Oh, there is a second Iono. Oh no. Town Store. Uh-oh. That is very bad. I was not expecting that. I I was ready to cue the outro, get going with the rest of my day. Okay. So we're hitting Pokestop, and Pokestop's gonna have to find us curry, right? We still got one curry left. We're fine. Or we just top like boss? Oh no. We have like a few outs. Like we could stop into Bibarel. Or stop into Ultra Ball for Bibarel. No, we don't want to discard Bibs. Okay, there's an SCR. We're probably gonna try to load up hands or something. Yeah, you can see my Ionos. Maybe Azul's List did play that and I just missed it. I thought we were just fine. Like, we don't need, we can set up Bidoof later. They played the Iono. Nope. I was just bragging like, oh yeah, this deck gets everything on the board until you get Iono to 1. Alright, Hail Blade. Just needs 3 energies here. I mean, it's just zooming off all the bench guys, right? Like, then you can like retreat and amp if you have to. I'm just promoting the Electrode. I'm winning the game next to. Actually, I don't know why you keep the energy on Ninja. You're never using Moonlight Shuriken. If I put a single prizer in your face, you're always using amp. All right, well, like we're finding curry. We're finding curry. I told you this deck is insane. There's never in doubt. Just how we drew it up. Paid actor for the script. Just to make it more dramatic, more interesting. This deck is just insane. Yeah, I might have to go pick up some Electrodes. It seems like a ton of fun to just troll league with. Oh, what a funny deck.